No, we don't see a lot of drains and things here, but you definitely notice the drains when you're in the basement.
With basements here in Texas, even though we don't see a lot of them, the ones we see, we tend to see some kind of interesting things in. So,
Hey, Brian, we got Nick Van Der Gaast on the line for you.
oh, that's great. Let's bring him on. All right. So, Nick Van Der Gaast, welcome to the show. Really appreciate you joining us today. So,
Hey, Brian, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Oh, you bet. So, just a little bit of background for our listeners. So, Nick is a realtor that we've known for a while. And Nick, you've got kind of an interesting background. You actually moved here from South Africa.
That is correct, Brian. I moved here from South Africa about 12 years ago. At the end of this month, we arrived here. My wife and my daughter, who was 18 months at the time, we just wanted to give her a little bit of a better future. So we arrived here and we love it, and we've fallen in love with Texas, and that's where we've settled and been here for the past 12 years. And we're settled. Very happy.
Yeah, very good. And so our show today, we're talking about folks that are relocating. As you know, as a realtor, Dallas-Fort Worth is just exploding. We're getting folks from sort of all over the place. And you kind of had a bigger relocation than most. What were some of the difficulties you had making that transition?
I think the biggest thing for us was obviously the distance. It's about 8,600 miles from Johannesburg, South Africa, where I was born, to here. You're coming from a third world country to a first world country, which is awesome. The currency is different. Driving on the left and right hand side of the road is different. Cars in South Africa drive on the right hand side too. The steering wheel's on the right hand side. So there's a lot of major changes that you go through, but it's been a pretty easy transition for the most. I mean, a lot of things work perfectly here. We find, you mail a letter off to someone or call a plumber or electrician to come and help you. People, if they say they're going to be there at 9 o'clock, at 8:55, they're there knocking on your door. So we love the way things work, and, we kind of spoiled with that. Back home in South Africa, it doesn't really happen like that. You may wait days for someone to come by and service your electrician, or plumbing or whatever assistance you're looking for.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a big transition.
Some people do drive on the left side of the road here, too. So that's not just there.
Right.
They're just not supposed to here.
So Nick, you've been in real estate now for a bit. What brought you into that industry?
My wife and I have, like I said, we've been here 12 years. We have bought probably 6 or 7 homes and fixed them up and, sold them and then bought another home and done the same sort of thing. So we just love it. I mean, I love dealing with people. I love meeting people. I like helping them get into, a home of their dreams. I mean, it's the biggest investment they're going to make. And I've always been a guy that likes to talk to people. So I find that part very interesting and exciting, because every time you meet someone, you're going to meet someone totally new and different. They have different thoughts and ideas. And I like the challenge of either helping them sell a home or obviously buy a home. So it's just very interesting to us. I love the way things, work in the real estate market here. And that's why I decided to get my license, so I could really go into this full time and help people, achieve their dreams of buying or selling a home.
Yeah. And you've been pretty busy as it goes. And so what are some of the things that people are asking you as they're moving into the area? What are some of the things that you're seeing?
Well, I know there's a lot of people moving to Texas. I think the last time I looked, there was something like 500 people a day moving here from all over the country or from other countries around the world. They love the way Texas works. The areas are really unique, especially in DFW. I mean, there's really good school districts. And the value for money, I think, is the biggest thing. I mean, you've got a couple of families that have helped, moving from California, where you may get a 2-bedroom, 1-bath for say $700,000. Here in the DFW area for $700,000, you can buy a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 4,500 square foot home for that. So, I think the value for money here is really, really good. And I mean, you could buy a used home or a brand new home for that. So I think there's lots of options for these buyers moving to the area.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're coming here for work, but yeah, also the value for the money is, it's there.
Right.
It's changed.
Absolutely. And a lot of them bring that money and pay cash. They don't really need a mortgage because they've got so much, money from their homes in California because of the value there.
Sure.
500 to sort of $2 million gets you a lot of homes. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's changed quite a bit value-wise even since you've been here in 12 years. I mean, I've been here 16 years, and it's amazing how much it's even gone up since we've been here. When we moved,
right, absolutely.
When we moved to McKinney, I think it was 40,000 people. It's now, I think, 180,000. So it's grown quite a bit.
Oh,
and it's McKinney is projected to be, Nick, at almost 2.5 million people by 2050.
Not McKinney.
Well, Collin County,
yeah.
which is Plano, McKinney, and
yeah, I can't wait for that many more people.
So, Nick,
well, I agree. I mean, McKinney, Frisco, that whole area north. I mean, it's just crazy. If I had millions and millions of dollars setting aside, I would just go north and buy as much land as I can because, so many people are moving out their way. And I mean, it's a fantastic area. McKinney, that whole corridor is just, you got the freeways, you have everything. So,
and now we have
a great
Buc-ee's.
market.
Yeah, we have a Buc-ee's now,
yes,
too.
Exactly.
So we've made it. We've made it the whole way.
My daughter likes Buc-ee's. I tell you what, I don't leave that place without spending about $40 or $50 on snacks and things that she wants in there every time we go by there. So I understand completely.
When you get all these people from the West Coast talking to you about moving here, does your Southern accent relax them and help them feel more at home?
It definitely has helped. I mean, I've met a few people at open houses where, they like the way you talk. They like the way you're different. You have different cultures and ideas and stories. And it definitely is a conversation starter. And I think it definitely helps me from a point of view of possibly getting some new buyers or sellers. I had a guy, him and his wife, walk into an open house about 6 months ago. And his wife said, I want to deal with Nick because of the way he talks. And I ended up actually selling their home in the village of Woodland Springs. It was like a $275,000 house. And then they bought a brand new Bloomfield home for me. So we're very close. I follow up with them all the time. We speak, on a monthly basis, and they're extremely happy in their new home and very happy I got their old home sold. So yeah, I hope the accent lasts. I mean, I want it to last, and obviously let them keep buying from me, but I get told I sound like I'm from Oklahoma.
There you
go. That's exactly what I was thinking. Oklahoma. That's exactly where I put you. Tulsa, probably right around there.
So, I've had Oklahoma. I've had New Orleans. I've had Boston. I've had all sorts. I mean, whatever they want, I'll be whatever they like. I don't care.
That's weird. It's not even legalized here yet. That's amazing.
So
exactly.
So Nick, what are maybe some of the other trends you're seeing out there right now as far as, the housing market goes?
Well, the market's it's really, really good. I work a lot of Tarrant County. Homes under sort of 300,000 are, a couple of days under contract with sort of multiple offers, and that sort of first time home buyer sort of pricing. I think the average price on the market right now is about 372 odd, around there. But I think anything under the 350 or under 300,000 is going to move really quickly. Mm-hmm. Over 500 to sort of $1 million plus is obviously less buyers who can afford that kind of home, but the market's really good. I mean, I just sold a home in North Richmond Hills for $695, and that home went pretty quickly. I mean, it was on the market, I think, only 6 days.
Wow.
So the market's booming. Like I say, with the amount of people moving here, it's a really good time in real estate. So I think if you working and talking to people, like I do, I love meeting people every day. I mean, I make calls too, but I love talking to people face to face. I think it makes more of an impression, but you can definitely succeed in this business for sure.
All right. So Nick, if folks want to get a hold of you, what's the best way for them to do that?
The best way would be, I have my cell number available to you guys. My cell number is 817-307-6521, or they can email me at nick@nicksellsdfw.com, and that's nick@nicksellsdfw.com.
And you're also on all the socials, the Facebooks, the Instagrams,
yes.
All that stuff?
I'm on Instagram and Facebook too. Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Well, Nick, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time this morning, and we will be sure to let everybody know about you.
Thanks, Nick.
Well, I appreciate it, and thank you for having me on the show, guys. I really appreciate the effort. Thank you.
All right.
Take care, Nick.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye. All right, so that was an interesting conversation with Nick. Wouldn't you say so, Bill?
I would. Typical Texan accent.
Uh-huh, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, what a crazy thing to move all the way from South Africa to Texas and then become acclimated and end up in real estate.
That is a long drive back to 8,600 miles.
Long drive, yeah.
Quite the culture shock, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. So I found an article, Bill, that I thought was kind of interesting. It was on horror stories of people relocating. It was sort of relocation horror stories. And I'm not going to talk about it because it just crashed. So, but anyway, let's talk for just a minute about, actually relocating to Texas and kind of what that means, right? So we get a lot of clients that relocate here, and then, it is a different culture. And, the DFW area, maybe not as much as some others, Houston, Austin, San Antonio area, it's definitely more of a, that Texas culture. And
yeah, I mean, I think there's many things that attract people to the area. Obviously, the cost of living and jobs and all the biggies. But I mean,
I always thought they came here to see the cattle drive in downtown Fort Worth.
That's the only thing they show on TV when they talk about Texas. But because apparently that's all we do here is drive Longhorns down the street. But yeah, I always laugh at that one. I'm like, yeah, it's not quite like that. I think one of the people that really are blown away here, especially in the Dallas area, is they cannot believe how diverse it is. They are expecting it to be what they've seen on TV their whole lives. Like everybody's riding around roping things on a horse.
That's right. Yeah.
Everybody drives a truck with a horse trailer behind it.
Mm-hmm. Oil wells on every corner.
We eat nothing but barbecue. That's all they see because that's what they show it like on football games and all that. It's what they see. So I think they're really surprised at how either cosmopolitan Dallas is itself, and to me, Fort Worth is definitely more of what you typically think of as Texas. But even it's changed quite a bit. But it's still, I'd say, more down home, more Texas, what you expect to see. With the stockyards and the.
Oh, we get a lot of people too that they're shocked at the sheer size of the area, and not just the area, but the state. And to put it in perspective, if you were to drive from Dallas to Los Angeles, half of the drive, a full half of that drive, is getting out of the state of Texas.
Yeah, it's I've only crossed the state once, and I was going cross country, and I didn't think I was ever going to get out of the state of Texas, and I didn't think I'd ever pass the place that actually had the 72-ounce steak.
Yeah, up in Amarillo.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you see signs for that the whole way there, and then you're leaving the state, or you're now leaving the place that's... I've never stopped there, but you got to wonder.
Yeah, you know what? I've never stopped there either, which is funny. But, yeah, I've seen it.
I did hear it was a female, ate 3 of them, or almost 3.
Really?
She ate 2 under the amount of time.
Was she from Oklahoma?
She was like a little tiny thing, too. No, I don't remember where she was from, but I couldn't believe it. That blew my mind. Sorry, a little off subject here, but but that's why people come here for the steak.
For the steak, yeah. Well, that's a good reason to come here.
And the 85-mile-an-hour speed limit in West Texas.
Yes,
85. That's when you're slowing down.
It is kind of interesting. You mentioned earlier we do have a lot of diversity here, and that diversity is really a byproduct of all the people moving in. We have when I first moved here years and years and years ago. For restaurants, you kind of had your choice of Mexican food, barbecue, or steak, and burgers, and that was about it, right? And anything else, if you went to get Italian food, it was the Spaghetti Warehouse. I mean, it was not.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, it was not anything like it is now. You've got,
everything.
Local places with all types of ethnic foods and really well done. I mean,
farm to market. You've got tons and tons and tons of. If there's a type of food you like, we have it.
Yeah.
If you want to gain weight, this is the place to move.
It sure is.
It is by far the best place to move.
Yeah.
I think Dr. Phil talked about that once because I think he's from here, and he was talking about if you want to gain weight, just live in Texas. I mean, he's right. Now there's definitely a lot more healthy type restaurants now too. But it's so funny too. What's the common conversation you have with your spouse is, where do you want to eat? What do you feel like? we have everything. It would have been so much easier if it was just Whataburger and